Hey guys, so I actually made a community post to see which video I should do next, and this video idea won my 2025 goals for this year for art. So let's just dive into my different goals, my different wants for this year, and yeah, let's see if this can help you come up with goals for yourself. So the first one is style exploration with intention. So I tend to explore different art styles quite often. Like, my art style is never really solid, it's more fluid, but I do that without intention and for no good reason. So I want to still explore styles like I'm doing, but I actually want to study and be aware of what I'm doing when I'm doing it. I don't really want my art to be water. I want it to be more like honey, you know, like fluid, but not to the point where you can't hold it. Does that make sense? I don't know if that makes sense, but that's what I'm going with. So the second goal that I have is I want to do more style dissections. And what I mean by that, if you haven't been around since the beginning of the channel, which I doubt most of you are, you're probably here from the interactive sketchbook stuff or my sketchbook tours, which is totally fine. So I'll explain what the heck I'm talking about. So my Let's Dissect series was a series that I did where I would take different people's art styles. So I would take apart the pieces and see if I could make like a drawing of my own in their art style by dissecting it. And that was really fun, and I really like to do that. But I stopped after She Who Must Not Be Named interacted with my channel and kind of made me blow up a little bit, because I felt guilty and weird after the stuff came out about her, and I kind of just stopped doing that series altogether, which I want to avoid in the future because I really like that series. So I'm going to try to redo that series now, and if you guys have any artists that you'd like to see me try to dissect, comment down below. And while you're commenting, maybe like the video too, maybe if you want it. If you wanna. So my third goal for this year in art is to make more videos. So this one is pretty self-explanatory. I'm just gonna be working as hard as I can to make videos consistently, which is a big problem for me. I have a lot of stuff going on in my life, like all of the time, but I am going to try my absolute hardest to upload one video a week. Maybe I'm off by 2 or 3 days, but you get the point. You get the point. And I just want to make consistent videos that I'm actually proud of, which is another part of it. I want to be proud of the videos that I'm making. That's not to say that I'm not proud of the videos I've made in the past, but I do want to be more intentional and artistic with my videos, so I'm going to try to do that as well. So the fourth one is make more art in general. And I know that's like really basic and everybody should have that in their 2025 goals. I haven't been making very much art outside of YouTube, so I haven't been feeling fulfilled in it, you know what I mean? I want to try to make an attempt to draw at least a tiny little doodle every day. That's not going to be much, but just keeping your artistic muscles going, I feel like that's very important. And if you guys don't doodle every day, that's totally fine. Like, it can be overwhelming, but I feel like personally that might help me, so I'm going to try my best to do that. Even if I feel like downtrodden on one of the days, I'm going to try my best to still draw. Like that, I feel like that's a very important goal to have for me. So my fifth one is color theory studying. So my favorite part of doing art is actually coloring, and I feel like I'm pretty good at it already. Like, I don't mean to beat my own horn, but I feel like that's the thing I have the best control over. Like, I'm pretty dang good at coloring. I don't know about my anatomy or my perspective or anything, but like my coloring, 10 out of 10, I think, personally, to me, which is the most important thing. Your art needs to be good to you before anyone else. So I think I'm pretty good at coloring, but there is always room for improvement, and I don't really understand the whole color theory thing. Like, I understand what colors look good together, and that's been enough for me, but I feel like actually learning the technical terms for stuff might be fun. And also just learning different art techniques with color would be fun. So that's why color theory studying is one of my goals. So my next one is maybe learning perspective. This one's not the most important to me, but I feel like it's also kind of important, if that makes sense. So perspective is something that I care about a lot, and I've never really tried to learn it before just because it seems like a really hefty thing to do. Like, that seems like impossible for me, but I might as well try, right? I've always had a feeling that it would be hard to do because the way my brain processes 3D space and art is kind of abstract, but I'm gonna try to learn regardless. I'm not really sure if I can even explain how my brain works. Like, I cannot think in 3D space, and when I try to imagine something, it like shifts and changes and looks weird, which is why making original art is hard for me. Like, I usually have to always have a reference. So maybe learning perspective would help me understand 3D space more and make me have ideas more. I'm not sure, but I feel like that's something that I could work on for sure. So my 7th one is to make more OCs for my story. I still have to make a lot of more OCs for my story, which is the Leto and Guy story, which you might know a little bit about if you've seen my Meet My OCs video, which is fine if you haven't, but if you want to, you should go look at it right now. But yeah, I need to make a lot more OCs for that story, and I've kind of been neglecting that part of it for a while just because I want to more focus on Leto and Guy's dynamic, but I do need to hunker down, lock in, and actually make more OCs for my story because that's something that's very important. The 8th thing that I put on this list is working on Guy and Leto lore. That is also pretty self-explanatory. I just need to work on lore. I specifically want to sort out their personalities and how they would interact, like how Leto would talk to Guy, how Guy would talk to Leto, how their dynamic would work, how their progression of their relationship works. Like, I really want to focus on that and like hone in on that because that's the stuff I'm obsessed with in my story. So the 9th thing also has to do with my story. I want to try to storyboard scenes from my comic, which I'm kind of nervous to say that it's going to be a comic one day because I don't want to promise that to myself or to you. But I do want to try to storyboard some of the scenes from the silly little plot in my head. So that's something that I think will be fun. I have a hard time doing composition in my art, and I feel like trying to do storyboards for comics would help me with composition because that's like the most important thing in comics is composition, like where your eye goes from panel to panel. So I'm gonna try my best to work on that as well. So I don't know if I've been counting correctly, but this is my 10th one, my 10th goal for this year, which is to make art collabs. I really want to make art collabs. I don't know how to find people for art collabs, but I'm gonna try my best. I have made a grand total of 1 art collab with someone who doesn't even make videos anymore, so yeah, I'd like to make more art collabs in the future because I find them fun and you can grow each other's channels and find like people that weren't subscribed to you that were subscribed to them and vice versa. I feel like it's very helpful and I really want to engage with the art community more. I feel like I've been on an island by myself in the art community and I would like to branch out and make friends, maybe, possibly, I don't know. I know this might be too lofty of a goal considering I only have 330 subscribers, which by the way, I'm so happy I got to 330. Thank you guys so much. I'm so happy. But not a lot of people want to collab with smaller creators, I found, but I'm going to try my absolute best to find people to art collab with because I really want to do that. My 11th and final goal that I have for this year is to make more attacks on Art Fight than last year. I know this one might seem a little bit random, but I had so much fun doing Art Fights last year, and I want to try to challenge myself more. Last year I kind of lost steam and gave up eventually on some pieces, and it didn't turn out exactly how I wanted. Like, I feel like some of my art pieces that I submitted were not up to par with the other ones, which makes me feel a little bit guilty, but yeah, I just want to do better than I did last year, and I want to do more attacks than last year, and I want to practice more than last year on Art Fight attacks, and yeah, I feel like making attacks on Art Fight helps you level up your art a little bit, if that makes sense. So those are all of my art goals for this year, my 2025 art goals. I hope you all enjoyed this video. I hope this video wasn't too boring. I hope it helped you actually find out what you want to do for your art goals. Everyone should have art goals. It shouldn't be like a New Year's resolution type thing. It should be something that you actually stick with. And I hope you guys got something from this video. So thank you all so much for watching. Please like and subscribe if you want to. Please do. Oh my gosh, I'm so desperate. But yeah, thank you for watching. Bye!